Hello, and welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be about some Penumbra FAQs, and also a lot about mod packing. So it goes for basic, standard, and advanced mod packs. Sorry this video is going to be a little bit unscripted, so hope it'll be okay to follow along. So the first thing I want to talk about is Excel plugins has a new repo for Penumbra. So if you go /Excel settings, then you can see it over here, second link here, and I'll put that down in the description. Remember to open up the link first and then copy it from the address bar or web copy properly. The first thing you're gonna see a lot in this video is actually me making mod packs and then loading them in-game immediately, and that is for one reason, because if we go into here, at the directories, I've actually cloned my entire FFXIV install, so that was quite big. I had to move it to D drive, which is why it's now pointing to D drive, the directory. And this is what I call my dummy install. I point text tools to the dummy install and not my main game, so when I make mod packs, it doesn't need my game to be closed in order for that to happen. So therefore, I can just make mod packs and immediately load them into Penumbra. We're gonna start off with basic mod packs. I'm pretty sure everyone knows how to make them, but there is one thing that I use it for, even though I don't usually use it for basic mod packs for anything. But I do use it for my Bebo buddy bases, like if I'm changing anything. So first off, let us do this. I'm gonna have to blur things out. That's okay. So I'm just gonna do like a really example install of B+. It's gonna take a while because my computer's being a bit slow today. And then I like to do Leaf Plus on top of that, so that's what I'm gonna do now. And then what I would do is I would just create all of this. I'll select all, and then I'd call like B plus space or something, and then create the mod pack, and then I would install that into Penumbra rather than the actual wizard installer, because I find that it works a little bit better. So I have saved myself a bit of time. I started over and imported basically this face here, which is Runa's new sculpt. I really like it, and let's say for some reason I just wanted to export it by itself. So the best way to do that is actually a standard mod pack, because then you don't have to worry about naming and all that stuff. So over here, I've actually done it already. I've searched up 102. So that's Mikote female face 102. Select item, all files. And then let's say I wanted to call this Runa's sculpt, and then create mod pack, and then that's all done. So I like to use standard mod packs to basically, usually for testing or if I only need to pack one item. But let's say that I want to update my stuff. So for example, I want to put my Yai Miko hairs on my base hair, which is 110. And also, I want to put this face on my main face, which actually isn't 102, but it's actually 104 as well. So I will start off with the face probably. So how you do that, I will actually do this first. So I'm going to copy the model file of face 102. And I'm going to copy it into 104. And that's basically how you face swap between races. It's not that difficult. I don't think it breaks anything. Hasn't broken anything for me yet, so I think it's fine. And then you can create advanced mod pack. So this is actually how you edit mod packs. You press load from. The one that I usually use is called face mods. So then it loads everything here. Next page. So I actually have all this stuff here already. I have a few options. So I actually have two makeups that I made for Runa's sculpt, and I have the sculpt base. You can already see here that I've got some stuff for an existing one called Nyx. I will explain kind of step by step what I'm doing with this mod pack. Right, I'm gonna start off by adding the sculpt base in. So basically that's gonna be everything aside from the makeup. So over here, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna add in face 104. There might be some errors that pop up, but I double checked my files and it shouldn't really affect anything, so here's hoping that it's fine. So over here, I am removing face D. Normally I wouldn't, like for instance over here I didn't remove it, but this time we have two different makeup files that I made, so therefore I'm going to remove these ones here. If I keep them in here, basically whatever I had in here will overwrite any options that I have down the line, which is why it's important to do so. So sculpt base is done. I'm gonna add a new category now for the makeup options. So I will call this group title, yay, makeup. And I'm just gonna name this one matte because it's the current one that I have. I'm gonna find 104 again. But I'm not gonna add every single file in. I'm gonna go into the textures, find face D, add, and I believe there's two face D files, so I need to go add them both in, and then create mod pack and overwrite it. So I'll get it to that mod pack. Now I need to put in the other face diffuse. So I need to go in here, and I have a glossy version of the lips, as you can see here. So I'm going to go in here, load it in again, and go down here, edit that makeup there, and then I'm gonna add a new option, also multi-selection, because, oh actually I can make it single selection so that I only choose one or the other, and I'm gonna call this glossy. However, because I have this in a way that I can turn the sculpts on and off at any time, it doesn't make sense for it to be single selection because in Penumbra that would lock you into have to install it. So I guess back to multi-selection it is. Just think about how you want to pack your mod pack when you're doing this before you choose single or multi-selection. If it's something that you want people to install 100%, use single selection. Other than that, it's multi-selection. So 104. I'm gonna find my face again, textures, find face D again because I replaced it, and the other face D. Cool. I'm just going to replace the mod pack again. Now let's try and load it in Penumbra. Oh, I was AFK for quite a while. So I'm gonna delete my current face mods. Import again. Okay, so now I'm going to take this one here, take the matte makeup, and I'm going to change it to face 104. And there it is. I have my matte makeup on face 104 now. So I should probably turn off that as well so there's no conflicts. And then cause that's also on face 104. And then I'm going to try out the glossy makeup. And there you go. I have the glossy lips. It's a little bit hard to tell, but if I put myself in G pose, there it is. So next up on the list is making advanced mod packs for my hairs. What I'm gonna do is, because right now my hairs all I put them in one mod pack so that I can change to whatever hair that I like. So for example, if I want to change my haircut, and I don't have to change my hair number because it's all on 110 basically. So I also do this when I make air versions and airless versions for my Miko hairs. So I'm going to go back into text tools, and I'm going to import my Yai hairs because I want to add them in. so let's go and find them. There you go. So I'm gonna start off with the Miko version. Right now it's on 118, but I'm going to change destination item, choose new item, so that I put it on 110. This is the best way to do it because otherwise if you do it yourself manually, you might forget to do the metadata, and therefore your hair won't move as nice. So select item, continue, there you go. I'm just gonna double check that the hair is there, but usually I'm gonna just skip this step because there's really no need to do so. Okay, so it's here. So what I'm gonna do now, create modpacks. So that modpack that I have right here is called Miko 110. In the description I just put this here so that I can really quickly copy and paste to find it, and now I'm gonna add it to my long list of existing hairs. So I'm gonna name this one Yai Miko, add, paste it in here, and you can also search up 110 as well and you'll find it, but this is just a shortcut. I'll add it in, done, create modpack, yes, overwrite my existing modpack. And then I'm going to start over, or if you do use text tools for other stuff, you would just delete the file from here. Since I have two versions of the hair, I want to add the Sakura one as well. So I'm going to import it from my modpacks, change it over to 110 again, because this one is on 119. So same step, I would go into create modpack again, advanced, load it in from this file. Oh, looks like I already did it, but I'll just do it again. And it's all done. Okay, so now let's load it into Penumbra. I'm going to delete the modpack here first. And then I'm going to import it from here. Again, it's gonna take a while because I have quite a few hairs in there. And then all done. So I'm gonna deselect this one here and select the Miko hair as an example. I'm gonna redraw, and then there you go. I have the Yai Miko hair. And if I wanted the Yai Sakura hair, redraw, and there it is. So my method, the weights are still intact, otherwise this would not move like this if the metadata wasn't in place. And that is how I change between my hairs all the time. It's quite neat. So the last thing I needed to do today was basically put the Emperor's new gloves onto these gloves here, because I think it just doesn't look nice with this outfit that I have on right now. So I'm just going to import my B+ base because I need the Emperor's gloves. There you go. So I'm gonna use the item convert. So let's go to Emperor new gloves. I want this to affect Mikote only as well. So what I'm gonna do is go into midline or female. Copy this model here. Lagging a little bit, that's fine. copy model file onto those are the Nizha gloves. So this time I want it to only affect Mikote. I don't want it to affect Midlanders and every single like female race. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to click Mikote female here, save, and that will basically create a new option for Mikote females only. And I'm going to copy this. There you go. And it says it will adjust them, so I'll copy model, successful. I'm gonna add it to this existing mod pack that I have here. Hopefully I can find it. I don't remember where I put it, to be honest. It is not in here, so it's probably in here. There it is. So I tried doing this, but the metadata manipulation didn't work so well, so I'm going to remove this. I'm gonna add in gloves. So I'm gonna search up the Nizha gloves. So as I said, I only wanted to affect Miko. So metadata, I don't include child files. That's just the metadata file. And the model I put in 0801, which is the Mikote one. And then I'll include everything here for the models. And then basically it's create mod pack. Done. So hopefully if I install this again, the gloves should be replaced with just empty gloves. And then let's enable my gloves. And reload. And there you go. I just have my normal hands for gloves. Very nice. Okay, so last thing I want to show you guys is Penumbra. Basically stuff that I've discovered and basically how I use my mod packs to manipulate things to be easier on myself sometimes. So first of all, you see me hitting a certain macro lately. It's behind my model. Let's see if I can move my head. These two here. So this one over here is /Penumbra that opens and closes that window. And then the button here to the side is /Penumbra redraw. So basically that just refreshes your Penumbra. So as you can see, if when I change my hair, so I'm changing that to the Yae Miko one, and I redraw, then it just basically reloads everything. I guess that's the best way I can put it. So second of all, another really useful thing that I have is folders. So I have everything sorted into all these different folders. What I like to do is I like to put them into folders by doing this. So I right click and that allows you to kind of rename the directory. So if I put this in the test one, for example, I'm gonna do test / and then I'm going to enter, and that will go into the test folder. You can also have subfolders. So if I go into face, I have different faces here, and I'll show you an example of how I use that. So let me load my Aura for a second. Appearance, Laura. There you go. So right now I have her as a different face, which is called Miyuki. I have elf ears that's connected to some earrings at the moment, her base sculpt, and also basically just a different B+ base. Now, if I right click, disable all ascendants, then that turns back into my normal aura, including all of her normal scales that I made for her. So if you see why, it's because in my B+, I have this one at 0 priority. But when I enable this, this gets overridden by 10 priority. The face also gets written over by 10 priority. Her name is Eris. And also the ears, well, those ones don't really overwrite anything. But yeah, when I want to turn this on and have my other one, there you go. So it's like a one-step turn on and off kind of thing. Scales are gone, and this face is back. So last thing I really want to touch on briefly is about collections. So with collections, I know that you can basically make it only apply to one character, I think, or something like that, but to be honest, I've never used them just because I've never been able to figure out how. It's never worked for me, and also sometimes when people use collections, it kind of breaks mods for them, so I've accepted the fact that everything that I use is gonna apply for every character, but I guess that's also why I try and keep things as specific as possible. And I think that's about it. If there's any other questions you have, you can leave it down in the comments and I'll try my best to reply to them in a swift manner. Other than that, you can kind of ask around on Discords and stuff if you need any help. Well, thanks for watching!